What is up, everybody? Welcome to the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge post-game show here on the Greg Cherry brand and, of course, the Jeff Meacham Network. Those of you watching on either brand, we thank you. Get the mic down here so I can actually hear. Hi, can you guys hear me now? Very good. We are currently waiting. The champ's at dinner. I'm not gonna lie. He's out to dinner with the missus. So we are waiting to see if he comes in. But before I get to today's match, let me just state I always seem to block out the memory that the 13th of November is the anniversary of the passing of Eddie Guerrero, and I think I subconsciously purposely do that. I said it in my post this morning when I first got up. I can't convey enough how much Eddie Guerrero meant to me, to my family, to wrestling fans at large, and just everybody I know that watches wrestling loved Eddie Guerrero. And I was almost going to get out the XMV archives and throw up what we said about Eddie when he passed, because we were still running, cooking with gas back when Eddie passed in 2005. So that's 15 years. That's bananas to me that it's been 15 years that Eddie has passed away. I can't even go there in my head that it's been that long, more than Dylan's entire life. Dylan, I never got to see Eddie live, and I hate that. And I'm so grateful for the WWE Network that we have access to Eddie's matches, ECW, WCW, and of course in WWE prior to his passing. So it's one of those things where this is the type of thing where the WWE Network is a godsend, because we get to show the future generations the brilliance of Latino Heat and the awesomeness that was Eddie Guerrero. And I did want to bring in today's challenger on the Wrestling Trivia Challenge, because he, like me, was at WrestleMania 2000. Lee, are you unmuted? There you go. Very good. Okay. You made it a point. You made sure I was at my first WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania I ever went to. And can you not hear me? Okay, I can't hear you for just so you know.
Can you hear me?
Turn up a little bit more, then I can hear you.
No, I'm having audio issues. Let me rejoin.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. So you and I went to my first WrestleMania. That wasn't your first Mania by any means, but it was my first. And
it was my last Mania.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But just the talent on that show. In one match, you had Eddie and Malenko and Perry Saturn and Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor and Chyna in that one match. And you had the triple threat brilliance that was Angle, Benoit, and Jericho. That Mania, yes, WrestleMania 2000 was a clusterfuck. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. It was a train wreck of a show, but I had fun. I enjoyed that show, and part of my enjoyment, by and large, was the entertainment value between Eddie and Chyna. I thought that the whole dynamic from when they were feuding to when they hooked up the next night was so golden.
It would have been really interesting for me to experience that in my early 40s. But 20 years ago, I 21 when I meet you, right? Practically.
Right.
And then, 97, I was 19. So, 97, 2000, 2001. I didn't give a shit. And we don't talk about WrestleMania.
Right.
This shit was entertaining to me as a stupid kid in the early 20s with a mindset of a high school. It was perfect.
Right. Yeah, it's.
We have a opportunity to respond to my father, but how long is this wrap up?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I can barely understand what you're saying. Your audio is just all over the place. I can barely hear what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
There we go. That was way better. Whatever you did to keep it there.
Hold on. I'm setting a chat. I want to make sure you get this.
Okay.
Come on. Why can't it?
I don't know. I know, Mikey. We're working on it, buddy. We're working on it. Stand by. Whoop, okay, we lost Lee for a second. Okay. Colin says, good to see Lee back on this stuff. I remember seeing him around when I first got into DQ. Check it. Yeah, it's Lee has not been on consistently since 2006 when we ended XMV, and then he made the one-off in 2008 when we did it No DQ's 10th anniversary. God, I can't believe it was 12 years ago. That's bananas also. But it's very cool to see Lee, and I'm glad I got him involved in this trivia craziness. And I thought he'd be a good challenger for Greg, because Greg made a very good point. Lee has been watching wrestling at least longer than Greg's been alive the same year, because Lee was at Wrestlemania 2 in the Chicago portion of Wrestlemania 2, and that was in April '86. Greg wasn't born until November. He just turned whatever it is, 34. So, Lee's been watching a long damn time. Lee and I actually came together as a friendship, and he became my best friend for the longest damn time. In 1998, he was seeing a friend's sister. It's freaking Kevin Bacon shit. But my friend in school, my friend at the YMCA, even, and we didn't go to the same school. We went to the same YMCA together. Okay, so his sister was dating Lee at the time. I was friends with the sister also, but it was kind of, like I said, the Kevin Bacon moment there, 6 degrees separation. But Lee and I came together right before, sometime between Survivor Series 98 and Rock Bottom. So that time period is where we first formed our friendship, and we've been cooking ever since, man. I love Lee to pieces. So there you go. Colin graduated 2006. So, I had been out of school for 5 years already. And as I mentioned on my recent show, you guys have never met the Jeff Meacham that Lee met back in 1998. The pre-concussion, the pre-traumatic brain injury Jeff Meacham. So Lee has known me, all facets of me, all versions of Meach, of the good old JM. So we go back a bit. Elon says, "What's up, Jeff? How's your day going? It'd be great if Selena Vega hadn't got released." And again, I think the rumor is she asked for her release. So that's fine. I mean, it kind of sucks because I'll miss her being on the shows. But if she asked for her release, then I'm all for her doing her thing. So hopefully she bounces back and lands somewhere that she can be showcased properly. So looks like Staggerly is back. Hello, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fine.
Crystal clear, brother. Crystal clear.
All right.
So I was mentioning to the newcomers, to the chittens, if you will, that sure. You have been watching longer than Greg's been alive, at least, because you were at WrestleMania 2 in the Chicago in the Rosemont Horizon, back when it was still called the damn Rosemont Horizon, motherfuckers. In April of '86. Greg was born in November of '86, so it's been at least that long. Greg's entire lifetime, for sure, that you've been watching this crazy stuff. And I believe
1986 was the last year that the DePaul Blue Demons were relevant in college basketball. They played at the Rosemont Horizon.
Oh, God.
That was my introduction to wrestling. And honestly, I really didn't see, the only thing I was really exposed to until WrestleMania 3 was Superstars Challenge. I believe, I don't even think Primetime was airing.
Primetime wasn't a thing yet, no.
I wasn't watching anything else. I don't know if TNT was a thing. I wasn't watching that. But Superstars and Challenge, I didn't go to any house shows until like '88.
Oh, wow. Really. Okay. Yeah.
Just saw the pay-per-views because, in 1980, in the late '80s, my family had cable. So
right.
Good for me.
Get that black box hot wire properly, and that's how it works back then, right? So
amazing technology.
It's so funny how we do things now, and how back when you were a kid and when I was a kid, how much we dicked with to see this stuff, like how much effort we put forth to try to get the freaking descrambler on our freaking cable. Now we just go click, it's on, it's done, it's over.
I have a story to share with you regarding scrambled pay-per-views in a wrestling sense. Okay.
I have one of those too, but go ahead. You go first.
One of the things I love about radio is that you can use your imagination, right?
Right.
with the scrambled pay-per-views, including the other stuff, sometimes you could still hear audio.
Yes.
So it was a certain pay-per-view in 1996. I believe it was early July, some WCW pay-per-view.
We have the same story. Holy shit, dude. Go ahead.
I listened to it. I didn't watch it. I listened to it. I heard it. I heard it all. I heard Tony Schiavone say, what did he say? Like, Hulk Hogan,
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. Straight to hell.
Go to hell. You go to hell. Straight to hell.
Yeah.
And I'm just picturing what it looked like in my head. And then when I saw highlights, whenever they did show it the next night or whatever,
right.
I'm like, man, it was just like what I pictured. Like, even better. I didn't think it was gonna be that much trash.
Dude, I literally have the exact same story. I was going to talk about Bash at the Beach. You remember my old mobile home, because you've been around me long enough to remember the blue mobile home we had in the late 90s before we moved here. Okay,
yeah.
So my room was in the back room in the corner. My TV was right there inside my door as you first walk into my room, right? So I'm sitting there on the edge of my bed trying to listen to Schiavone and trying to, picture what's happening. And I hear he say, Hulk Hogan arrives, and then he drops a leg, and you hear the air just get sucked out of that place. It's like, holy shit, did Hogan just turn heel? What the hell just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an amazing moment. And like you said, imagination is killer. Like, it can either work for you or work against you. And in our case, the visual in our head of Hogan leg dropping Randy, of making that speech, all that shit being thrown in the ring, and Mean Gene looking like he's going to freaking cry his eyes out. It was all right here, man. And then you watch Night to the next night, you go, God damn, that was pretty good. I did pretty good for myself.
And then I loved what WCW did. I believe they just waited like a few weeks before Hogan even showed up again.
Yeah, Hogan wasn't even until the next night. Yeah,
because I was missing the fuck out of him. I'm like, when is he gonna show up now? Hogan next week, and then the next week.
Yeah, Hogan wasn't at night till the next night. They were still running the Disney MGM theme park, so they had that little corner of the park. Yeah, crawled off there, but the outsiders were there, and they made you think Hogan was there. But the week after, he came out of that limo all in black and attacked Big Bubba and made another speech. It was like, holy shit, this is real. Like, Hogan actually is a bad guy. What the fuck, man? It's crazy. It was absolutely bonkers. But I do want to get another person's opinion before we move on from this subject, because he is the man who just about 15 minutes ago paved the way for day 993. Welcome in the champ.
The champ is here.
Congratulations.
The champ is here. The champ is here. Yeah, we were mentioning it. I mentioned to the plebeians that you were out with the missus and you would be back if you could. I also mentioned Lee and I's friendship going back to 1998 and the time between Survivor Series and Rock Bottom. And just now we were talking about listening to scrambled pay-per-views and listening to the Hogan heel turn in 96 and just like picturing in our head what was happening, because we couldn't see it, but imagination is a beautiful thing. And when we saw Nitro the next night, I was like, yeah, it's pretty much what happened. I also mentioned when Lee first came on that Lee was watching in April of 86 at the very latest, and you were still in gestation at that point. So he's been watching a long damn time.
Yeah.
So I was my son's age when I went to my first wrestling event. I was 8 years old in 86.
Nice. Wow.
Mine's 8. So,
but by the time I actually went to a live show, I was also 8, because I started watching, as we all know, 30 years ago, this coming pay-per-view, Survivor Series. And then my first house show, my first live show period was, here we go. Lee will get kicked out of this one. June 91, the LA Sports Arena. Okay. Hogan versus Slaughter in a Desert Storm match for the world title.
I know I did not go to that one, but I did go to the last event at LA Sports Arena a few months earlier.
Yeah. I went to that one. I went to the one in October, which I think was Ric Flair and Hogan's like third match ever or some shit like that. Some ridiculously low number like that. Yeah. And then I went to another house show at the Forum, in 94. And then I didn't go again until you and I went to Mania. So.
Greg, when you were a kid and a teenager, as far as like events, even at the Igloo, like, did you go to a lot of house shows?
We went to a couple.
No.
The one I particularly, I don't know why that word is so hard for me to say.
Me
the
too.
one I remember the most is one in '96, and it was one of the ones that Warrior no-showed.
Of course.
So like when they talked about that on the Warrior documentary, it's like, yep, I remember he no-showed, and then he was supposed to wrestle Owen Hart, and then Sid replaced him.
Ugh.
So
that's like,
I mean, when you're a kid, it's like, oh, Psycho Sid, it's got beat up Owen Hart, cool.
Yeah, but looking back, it's like a brown turd replacing a green turd. Like, that's terrible. That's jeez.
As a kid, whenever I would see on Superstars or Challenge that little airplane flying over the horizon, and Sean Mooney or Lord Alfred Hayes, given the weekly lineup, because every night there are 2 shows a night practically, and then Monday, October 10th, at the LA Sports Arena, Coco Beware is going to be in live action. And then I'm like, holy shit, I get to see fucking Coco Beware. Oh, shit. Yeah. And then I get to the event because I'm going anyway. I don't care if it's Coco Beware or, Aunt Jemima. So, listen, my favorite thing about the whole experience was just getting that program and opening it up and seeing the lineup card.
The freaking run sheet there,
I can't wait to see all my guys. I'm 10, 12 years old. I'm eating this shit up.
Oh, yeah.
And then cards up to change. And I have my little pen handy because it always happens. Someone's got to be replaced in some house show. Jim Powers is replaced by Jim Neidhart. 1990 Jim Neidhart. And
right.
So versus the Brooklyn Brawler opening match. So it's the shit like that. I miss the darkness of the house shows. Just the simplicity of it.
Low lit and smoke filled and all that hot garbage. Yeah, so simple.
So simple. I mean, no technology needed.
Yeah.
Even when I went to a house show a few years ago, the NWO showed up. I went to a house show a few years ago, and the main event was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt at a street fight.
Oh, jeez.
Shows how long ago that was.
Right.
It was still a fun experience because it's like, hey, listen, these aren't happening on TV. It's just going to be a fun show, and it was.
Right.
So,
and
it's a shame it seems they're doing away with the whole house show circuit.
It is. It's a shame. We all have our big show in our past that was not so good. Lee and I both have WrestleMania 2000, but Lee also has WrestleMania 9. So good on him for having both of WrestleManias. Yeah, exactly.
I've been to probably, let's see, 2. I don't know how I will never rank 2 in the bottom of my list.
No.
For what it wasn't bad. But 7, 9, 2000. I mean, I don't know, man. They just gotta stop coming to the West Coast and
right. Well, the thing is, Mania is, for me at least, the first one I went to was definitely more about the experience because WrestleMania 2000 was one of the worst they ever did as far as the actual front to back card itself. You had like maybe 2 matches that really would be on a best of anything DVD. You've got the triangle ladder match and you got the triple threat match between Angle, Benoit, and Jericho. Other than that card is, I dare say, hot garbage is a decent description. There are good points in each match, but overall the card is kind of poopy. And
Access was awesome. And do you still have the video of you and I doing the play-by-play from WrestleMania?
Somewhere in this catacomb of shit. Yes, I do. Because at Access
that was more fun than the.
For those you guys are going, what the hell are you talking about? At Access, okay, here's how old our fandom is, guys. Okay, the very first actual coordinated WrestleMania Access was at 2000 at the Anaheim Convention Center. Lee and I went along with everybody. We were in a little circle of ours, and Lee and I did commentary over the WrestleMania 15 main event between Rock and Austin, and we got VHS copies of it.
Jeez.
I swear to God, a VHS. I'm going. I look back and I go, we were like not that far away from DVD. Why? For real, it was kind of silly, I thought. But anyway,
22 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy that was 20 years ago, and we were still on, VHS status.
Columbia House, man, I was still doing that shit.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Columbia House and freaking
DMZ.
Oh yeah, exactly. Greg, before I brought Leon, I was mentioning that I purposely try to forget that this is the anniversary of Eddie Guerrero's passing, just because I hate this day so much. It's terrible, and I it's one of those things where I will never forget where I was, who I was with, and the circumstances of me finding out. And we've talked about it, you and I, on the show. Lee and I have talked about it over the years, but it's just silly to me. It's horrible, weird math in my head that it's been 15 years.
Yeah,
like Lee and I were still cooking with gas on XMV when Eddie passed, and I almost got the archive down. I almost threw it up there, but like, I don't want to start anything. But yeah, it's like we were still going really hot. Like everybody was on the show still then. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure that was during the whole Josh thing. So like when he first came on,
it was right in the middle of the whole Josh Tariff is a heel storyline.
Right. So I mean, like everybody on the show was on the show then. Like every single that came through that roster was on the show at that time. It's like, holy shit. I can't believe that was 15 years ago. And it's great. As simple as things seemed then, you look back, you go, I don't know, maybe not. And we've all had watched documentaries and watched film and done these things with Eddie's passing and what it did to a lot of people and how it affected a lot of people in the business and a lot of people outside of the business. And I hope that people have spent today, if they were tributing Eddie, that they were on the network watching ECW matches or WWE matches, WF matches. I have a dear friend who to this day has not watched the entire tribute shows from either show since. She tried to watch it when it happened, got about 3 minutes in, and just couldn't even process it happening.
Well, it's like when the Dark Side of the Ring came out for Benoit, and they showed the clip of him crying about Eddie's passing. That hit me again.
It's one of those things where, and it's funny, the WWE YouTube tribute that's up now about Eddie was from SmackDown, but they very, very clearly, sneakily edited out the Benoit stuff out of that tribute.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to, right? But the one I posted this morning that I got dinged on, but I ended up fixing anyway, was the original "Here Without You, 3 Doors Down," and just I can't hear that song without thinking of Eddie, and I just wrecks the shit out of me every time. But I do want to get to some happy stuff. Oh, go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, the last match that Eddie had was against Kennedy.
Yes.
Then it must have been the week before where there was a tag team match involving Guerrero on one side and Kennedy on the other, because
that sounds right.
At the Staples Center, and me, along with the director of human resources, went to that event. I don't know who else in our circle went. I don't know if you were there.
I wasn't at that one. No, I 05 wasn't my big prolific year, unfortunately. I didn't go to a lot of shows. No, I didn't go to WrestleMania that year. You and I both were sitting right over here in the next room for WrestleMania.
Yeah. And really, that was such a fun year for us personally, and with
yes.
And then this happens, and I remember. I cried when Owen died, and I did cry when Eddie died.
Yeah.
But that's really it. Those are the two wrestlers where I cried over their untimely deaths. Yeah,
JJ commented on my post this morning and said to this day Eddie's the only wrestler he bawled his eyes out after he passed. And it's so weird to think about it now. But when I got up the morning of the 13th, because it was on a Sunday in 2005, and they were doing a super show that night at wherever the hell they were in Minneapolis, wherever they were. And I woke up, and as I always did, I went to ODQ.com to check my news, and I went to WWE.com to see what was really happening. Love you. And I see the graphic for Eddie, but I didn't really process the words. So all I see is Eddie's face, and I'm thinking, oh, they're doing this injury storyline with him because Kennedy right upside the head on Friday. And then I look again, I went, oh God. Oh my God. And of course I have to wake her up. I have to, because she's gonna hear it anyway. My baby, and I kind of, and she sat up, and I kind of looked her toward the computer, and we just pretty much sat there and cried all day, and just kind of processed it through her. And then we watched Raw and we watched SmackDown that week. We actually went to her parents' house because we didn't have the good cable over at our house. So we went to her parents' house to watch the show, and her parents were like, "Oh, yeah," and we're like, we need to watch these shows. Like, these are the shows. I know you're not fans, but we need to watch these shows. Yeah. So we watched them both, and it was horrible, just horrible.
Well, I remember that night TNA was running a pay-per-view. I don't know if it was Turning Point or Bound for Glory or whatever it was.
Turning Point sounds right.
Yeah, and I just remember.
No, Genesis.
Okay.
Yep.
And I just remember, like, that was Christian Cage's first appearance. Also.
Yeah.
Not that it's overshadowed. It was still a cool moment. But
no, but can you imagine Jay being back there and having to know his friend has passed away, and he's like, career crossroads, but oh shit.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that.
So how did everybody enjoy the show today?
Like, I was gonna say, now that we're past the Eddie part, I gotta admit, I was in the hot seat. I was in the hot seat. I was in the host seat, but I felt like the hot seat when we taped the episode. It was you keep giving me scares, Jerry. It's
What do you mean I keep doing it?
Yeah, it's all your fault because you have these slow starts that you can't get out of the starting gate until about halfway through the show.
Listen, I'm like the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. It takes a quarter and a half to warm up. Right?
Especially last week. Holy shit.
Honestly, after I think when I was up 2-1 or 3-2 or whatever the case was, right. and I'm like, I'm thinking in my mind, I've answered some, and I'm like, maybe I'm winning. But honestly, after that, it didn't matter because I forgot about the score, honestly. I didn't even know what the hell we were really playing into. I was just having
well, here's the
sort of learning some new shit and reliving some of the past.
That's right.
With all the questions you answered, though, you had solid guesses for every single one of them.
Yeah, you really did.
Every single
one.
Well,
I wasn't. Well, yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying,
you gotta try, kids, right?
Like some people come on the show and they say something that's completely like irrelevant. It's like this is not even close. No, right? Why?
Yeah,
it's like I was watching Wrestlemania on Wednesday, and a couple of people that they've had on multiple times. No offense, Denise, were just not strong in wrestling trivia. It's like
I'm telling you. Cannabis does kill brain cells, and I probably put on a few things over the years. So, I'll use that to my credit, I guess, or discredit.
I just got a message from Big G on PayPal. I know Steelers will go undefeated this year, so here you go. You received $100 from Big G.
You got that?
Yeah.
I'm the Steelers fan, G. What are you doing? I'm kidding. But
you're not going undefeated. I mean,
they will. They will.
15-1, and they'll lose in the AFC, championship.
That would be our luck,
dude.
No, but you know what? It. To be honest, like I'm into the season because the Bears did start out pretty well, and now it's like, now it's just about my fantasy points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, the Steelers are on fire, and I honestly don't think anyone could really chase them.
Kansas City might, but
I was gonna say, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be the Chiefs because the Chiefs are smoking hot too right now. But they have that loss, so they could either take that loss and go, all right, well now I'm uber pissed and just really give you guys a run for your money, or they can just the Steelers come out, okay, well now we have to be them, so they'll up their game as they go into that game. So
hard to repeat.
It's very hard to I mean, nobody knows better than wrestling fans how hard it is to achieve a streak. I mean, really, it took Undertaker, whatever it was, 23 years to build one up, and it took about 20 minutes to just completely tear it apart. So it's one of the, and again, I know it's not really a sport, but I'm making an analogy on a wrestling channel. Bear with me, people. But in 2 weeks, if you get it done, brother, it's 2 weeks away, and at the end of that episode, if you're there, 993 is over and 1,000 is guaranteed. Man, I can't even believe when we were sitting there a year ago talking about bringing the show back and, me hosting and doing the thing, I didn't envision we'd be at this moment. I never lost faith or confidence, but I did waver quite a bit during the tapings just because my nerves were so afraid. I'm sure like yours were and still are at this point. But I mean, here we are. We are on the cusp of history, one way or the other.
Yeah, and like I said, every week it gets more difficult. Like when Lee went up, I got nervous. When Ruben went up multiple times,
yeah,
that was the one I'm surprised I walked away still champion.
Ruben definitely gave me the palpitations for sure. He scared me, and I'm concerned about Virtue coming on because he is very motivated. He's very determined to show that for lack of a better term, not trying to sound like an egotist, but the thumping I gave him in the very first episode was a fluke indeed. So, but again, I've proven that hasn't for my own self, but Virtue has not been back since. So
he said himself that general knowledge trivia is his thing. Wrestling trivia isn't necessarily, but I still have to treat it like I'm facing you or Chris Cass or David Diaz. Like I still have to go in there with that mindset that, hey, I can't go easy on this person just because maybe they're not as strong as I am on trivia. And I think I've proven over the last almost 3 years, very few people, if any, are as strong at wrestling trivia as I am. And that's not like an egotistical statement because twice. And Scott Gatto, who was on the show before, took my Trivomania title. So
there you go. See,
it's one of those things that I can't take a week off.
Right. Well, but before we're going to wrap it up here before too much longer is over, but I do want to bring in the man who, my opinion, and this is just my own opinion as the longest tenured no DQ person in the room, has the best beard in the no DQ galaxy. The Cleaver himself, Colin Andrew, dude, that thing, dude, I look back at my 2012 Stanley Cup beard and I go, nothing. No.
I know
the
Colin's a Cleveland guy, but that's very Brett Kiesel-esque.
My vision sucks, man. Okay, the Cleaver.
He's a Cleaver, Colin Andrew, because of his endeavors outside of no DQ. But this is Colin. You mentioned earlier you've been watching the old stuff from the old days. Yeah, this is the guy who got me through the dreaded heel turn in April 2005 on XMU.
Cheers, man.
And I'm still salty that I never got to really have a heel turn.
Hey, you know what? But we were gonna do it at the park, and then the freaking rain got in our face, and then freaking Mike got busted open by accident.
It wasn't my fault.
It was terrible. Because Mike.
Oh, that's right, Mike. Yeah, Mike threw the elbow and got it right in the lip. That's right. Yeah, God, that was
an NBA foul right there. That's all.
NBA foul. Yeah, but it was so funny. We all piled in the car, showed back at Josh's place. We all got basically in PJs and just freaking bullshitted through an episode.
Yeah,
so weird.
And I never got to do my heel turn on MN. So.
Oh, that's right. There you go. So, Colin, you have been following along with the trivia pretty much since we started doing it 3 years ago. And I know we wanted to get you on and challenge, and it didn't happen because of, honestly, it was my fault, and I own that the fact that the scheduling just kept getting screwed up because of me being unavailable or me being unable to corral everybody at the same time. But I want to say on behalf of me, myself, and I'm just a contender at this point in the tournament if it does happen, but I would love to see you in the tournament coming up in a few weeks.
I'm down, man. I mean, I don't know what I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks. COVID mania is running wild in the household. Dude,
I've been there.
I don't know what's going on, so I might be home. Ohio's on the verge of a shutdown, so and restaurants are going to be revisited on Thursday. So,
jeez,
I don't fucking know what's going to go on.
Well,
Aaron's channel too.
Yeah. The plus side, like of the whole tournament thing is, I don't plan on starting that till after Christmas.
Right.
It's going to be. Should I get past Virtue? It gives me a few weeks off, take it all in, and then just find the people who want to compete. We talked about Ruben. I haven't talked to all three of you, Jeff, Chris, and David, about doing the series.
Right.
I don't know if I want to do that or if I just want to do a straight up triple threat. Not sure. I know Jeff hates triple threats.
I'm Jeff or whatever. Yeah, I do. Well, I hate watching them. Competing in them, I get the juices flowing. I'm good to go. So I'm good.
Yeah. So we'll discuss it.
Yeah, and it's again, my original thought process was we were going to go right away and finish the week of Mania, but obviously that's not going to be the case. So we'll just have to see how things play out, like you said.
Yeah. Plus, I'll need that time to come up with 300 plus questions. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And again, I credit everybody, both Aaron and Greg, for their ridiculous question making ability, because just this one season alone, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm completely over the whole question making process. I'm spent. Thank you.
How many hours did me and you go back and forth the other day?
Oh my god, dude! Seriously, Colin came to me last week. We were just kind of shooting the shit. I was mentioning how much trouble I was having. I was literally 3 questions short of the 22 I need for you and Virtue. And we were just going back and forth. I'm like, yeah, but, and then I throw one and goes, yeah, and then we would come back and forth. Finally, I got it down. I'm like, all right, there it is, 22. And I owe you huge for that. And one of the questions, like you mentioned in the chat room, one of the questions, the very last question today was one of the ones you sent me about King Mabel. I can't believe that not so few people know about that. Like, I mean, it was a big internet story when it came out that he had the belt made by Reggie. Like, it was a huge story, and people don't know that. I find it hard to believe that the trivia minds of the wrestling world don't know that. So,
and if you haven't
question about that too.
Hang on, what's on? I'm sorry.
If you haven't seen that belt, though, you can kind of see where the design of the NXT UK Championship and the new honored WWE/Universal title came from, because it has that kind of same shape.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny. Like the side plates are very indie-esque in that they have the flags of the country. So it's kind of a throwback to the 10 pounds of gold, but it's also very indie in that every indie belt has the same flags on the same sides, right? But the center plate is really slick. I like it a lot, and I wish they would have not necessarily made every King of the Ring be a defend the championship king, but it was still cool that Mabel, the Nelson, actually had a belt made. And of course, if you get a belt made back then, you go to Reggie because he was the guy. So I thought it was a very cool moment to see pictures, and I'll see if I can get pictures up while you guys are chatting about it, because I will bring it up here in just a moment. So Lee, you and I haven't talked a whole lot as far as off air or whatever, but you did mention to me that you started watching full time again because of your oldest son, correct?
So around 2017, and as you know, but the No DQ and the Jeff Meacham Network Nation, so many nations in the worldwide interwebs of wrestling.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And honestly, look, life is hard. 2015 through current life is hard.
Yeah,
life was really hard. Around that, and moving to Arizona from Southern California. I just happened. It was right around the WrestleMania in Orlando, the one with the roller coaster and the 200-yard entrance. I don't remember which numbers they are anymore because they don't do it.
I think that was 33 that year. I think.
Yeah.
So it was around that time that I started watching it again.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, holy shit! When did Kevin Steen get in? I'm thinking, and I look closer, and I'm like closer.
Awesome.
I'm like, red beard, goofy smile, kind of a pasty body. I'm like, I'm not gonna judge. I wish I was that fit. I'm like, is that fucking El Generico? Jeff.
Oh, jeez.
Sami Zayn.
It's Sammy. It's Sammy. Yeah. It's Generico. Yeah.
So that's when I started getting back into it, because holy shit, some of these PWG guys are making it, and I know Kevin Owens from PWG. I know he was in other stuff too,
Ring of Honor and stuff. Yeah,
I remember him. And so it made me sort of as more of like being a fanboy. It's more of a guilty pleasure. And look, cannabis helps when watching this shit. Because honestly, what really got me going was watching the Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns feud, where Braun was attacking him on the stretcher and tipping the ambulance over. I hadn't watched wrestling in like 8 years until I saw that shit. I'm like,
nice.
I'm in.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very
and
cool.
And I still watch it. I don't watch it every week, but I could still shoot the shit about it.
Yeah, and see, I noticed that with the longtime fans that, you know, give the current product grief, but then they come back and they watch you go, you know, this isn't so bad. I hearken, and this is like a completely unnecessary and stupid comparison, but I liken it to Bruno. Bruno came back after being purposely away for so long because he hated the product and he hated the way that the WWE was presenting the business. But Hunter said, okay, look, watch this stuff. And if you're still dissatisfied, I won't bug you anymore. And he did. And then he came back. And again, much like the Warrior, you know, they got him in almost in time without being too morbid or whatever. You know, it was only a couple years after that he passed away. So it was cool to see Bruno be brought back into the family before it was quote unquote too late. So that was nice to see. Okay, I think I've got the pictures of the belt, so I'm just loading them into the StreamYard here because I'm doing my thing. I need to leave here in about 10 minutes for what it's worth, guys. So let me just go ahead and get these pictures loaded, and then I will send the invites to the person that I just saw make a comment, and I will get that out there because I do want to bring him on because I want to properly kiss his butt. So stand by here, guys. We're live, pal. Okay, there's that. Okay, very good. So again, Mabel, when he became King of the Ring, decided to take, you know, his ideas to Reggie Parks and came up with this is the center plate I was talking about. Again, it's very nice center plate. I love the way it's stylized, and even the two immediate side plates right there are really nice. They're intricate, they're detailed, very, you know, it's a Reggie belt. It's a kick-ass little belt. But then when you branch out a little bit there, you can see that, you know, again, the flags are there to represent the different countries, which I think is super cool of them to do that. And then here's a picture with Nelson with the belt with that's not Reggie. I forget who that is, but it's not Reggie. Anyway, so that's the story of the King of the Ring belt, and I love that belt, as we said. So all right, now let me bring in this guy here real quick because I do want to. Big G is here, and let me. Whoop. Oh, there we go. Okay,
there we go.
So I don't know what motivated that transaction, but thank you, dude. I really appreciate that.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but in one of the something I said, if the Steelers were going undefeated, I'd give a donation to the Jeff Meacham Network. So. Oh,
you did. You're right. I forgot about that. Well, I hope you haven't jinxed yourself and your entire city now.
No, right? Oh my God, Greg is gonna kill me.
There's gonna be a line for that. There's gonna be a line for that.
He's literally gonna drive 4 hours and kill me.
I'm in your wedding, so I have time.
Right? Yeah. That's
there you go.
That's it, dude.
Oh man.
Dude, don't do it at the wedding though, because you just break Colleen's heart. Wait till after, you know.
Well, we're supposed to go axe throwing at the bachelor party, so you know.
Oh, there you go. Oh, God.
I think I might do it by mistake. You don't want me with an axe in his hand. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there now. No.
I've actually never done it, but I'm looking forward.
I haven't either. I don't want to.
I don't either. But I just want to say it was the trivia match was awesome. I figured Stagger Lee would have, you know, a couple more questions answered, but like he had to lead for a little bit. I was like, oh my God, Greg's gonna lose. And then Greg, just like the Steelers, they come from behind.
I'm telling you, none of my victories are pretty, but they're effective.
Ever.
That's just my style. It's a Pittsburgh in me, brother. It's
right.
Yep.
No, shit, I'm on mute. No, I was saying, you know, a lot of those questions were from an era where I was like 2018, from like 2008 to 2016, where I didn't watch it. I didn't watch. Man, I you know, love him or hate him, CM Punk. I wasn't watching in that era. Thank
which
God.
Is a shame. Which is a shame, man. Oh, so good.
Well, he did better than me against Rick. I think I only answered one question right. So,
yeah.
And that was the beginning of Greg's reign, like during the beginning.
Yeah, it was really on. But you know what? It's one of those things where he's got 2 more weeks, and if he gets through, then it's a clean slate for everybody because we get a challenger pool going off. We go to the races. So
yep.
And I'll probably need some help getting some like big name people because last time I had some people that were like, I'm just trying to fill spots. I want to get like actual big name people who know their stuff to have some good matches, which probably means I'm screwing myself in the long run.
Right.
At the same time, it's like, it's what I did when Mark challenged me. It's like, I found the best trivia mind and he almost beat me, but I proved I was better. So it's, I don't know. We'll see.
Crazy. Well, again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching today's show. Any final words? I'll start with Colin first, since he's been very quiet. I appreciate you being patient and letting him being able to whatever you want to say, Colin, go for it as we sign off here today.
I mean, I ain't no big fucking name, but count me in for that tournament. But
dude, for sure.
No, I mean, good job to both of you. Good luck against Virtue.
Yes.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but I'm pulling for Virtue. You guys,
Cleveland Pride.
You guys pull for the Steelers, or pull for the Steelers every week. I got to pull for my hometown boy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Come on,
Well,
which is funny because he's a Broncos fan.
What's that?
He's a Broncos fan. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
We live 20 minutes apart from each other.
Right.
It is what it is. But if anything, man, I mean, congratulations too, because you made it this far. I mean, shit,
Yep. Yeah. Win, lose, your draw, dude.
Had a Gargano moment and dropped it the next week. So.
Right. Yeah. Poor Johnny, man. Dude, it's so funny that they freaking lump that that stigma on Sasha. Meanwhile, Johnny's got the same problem.
And he's from Cleveland too.
Successful defense, because I think DIY lost in their first defense too to the AOV.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I think so.
Respect for you. So. Anyways, nodq.com/Colin takes you to my stuff. Receiver Colin Andrew on Instagram is my new work page. Check that out and subscribe. Same thing on YouTube. I have my own. I finally got a custom URL for YouTube, so it's just the Cleaver Colin Andrew. Thank you there.
I will add that to my graphic for Monday.
Thanks, bud.
No problem. Anything. Big G. Final thoughts as we leave day 979 for Mr. Cherry.
Yep. Congrats, Greg. I'm sure, once we get to 2 weeks, I'm going for you. I like Virtue, but, I got to go with my fellow Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And go Steelers. Go Pittsburgh this coming Sunday. It looks like Ben is able to play on Sunday, which is good for us.
Yep.
I see a 9-0 coming. You can follow me at nodq.com/BigBallaG. Instagram, no DQ_BigBallaG1988, and Jeff Hilton on Facebook. That's it for me. And whoever wants to take it away, take it away.
Stagger Lee, first time in 12 years, brother. It's good to have you back. Don't be a stranger, for real.
No, yeah, caught me at a great time.
True.
Sometimes it's
right
timing.
Yep.
Stagger Lee leads a busy life, but Greg, I do not want to be the last guy that you
won't be.
There it is. There's the confidence. Right. I love it.
There you go.
I love it. Mr. Cherry, anything else to say?
Jeff, I brought this up to you yesterday.
Yes.
Should I defeat Virtue in 2 weeks, not only will I hit my 1,000th day, but I did the math, and it will be my 50th wrestling trivia match victory overall.
Oh, wow. So, props to you.
Multiple milestones.
That's it.
To be hit with that.
And as I mentioned during the game today, one way or the other, we are going to have a post-game celebration for you because 993 is no joke at all. I mean, 993 is redonkulous. 1,000, of course, is a milestone number, but 993 undefeated and held in, and he didn't defend for, what, there was a tournament and he beat the tournament winner, so kiss off. It's as simple as that.
Well, not only
and he beat me in an hour, so
I've defended the title successfully 35 times, guys.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Seriously,
that's a milestone itself.
It's so crazy that people will still talk about it, but we got to get there. It's in 2 weeks, and again, it's gonna be a rocket buster, as a Oompa Loompa Who Blocks would say. Anyway, so we're gonna move right along there. Of course, teespring.com. You can get all our stuff at Greg Trey Brand, Championship Network, and NoDQ.com. You can follow the principals on Facebook. Again, I'll add everybody to that in the coming weeks. I get everybody's plugs out there. Follow us on YouTube and on Instagram and on Twitter. That's where we are. We're all there. Next week in this time slot, as I move right along here, will be the dads always on wrestling, and JJ and I are going to make sure Disney shuts us down. There's no question about it in my mind, because we're going to be reviewing the top 10 all-time greatest Walt Disney Animation Studios films.
Nice.
So that was a fun show to do. That was a fun show to do. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And of course, next Sunday, which is Survivor Series Sunday the 22nd, come back here to Championship Network, and you can watch me watch the final farewell of the Undertaker. That'll be a somber day for sure. But we got to get there first. So for the Cleaver, for Big Baller G, for Stagger Lee, and for the Champ, I am the Meech. We will see you guys in 2 weeks right here on the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge.